Hey, what's going on, guys? Chris NY Sports here, back with another NHL predictions video. We're now in the second round of my predictions video. If you guys want to see the first one or the regular season standings, you go on my playlist, or I'll have a little video at the end of this video that you could click on. I'll bring you right to the last video that I made. But we're in the second round, and we are going to kick things off right into gear with the Atlantic Division matchup, which this is going to be a real fun one. I have the Lightning against the Leafs. The Leafs I had beating the Florida Panthers, and I had the Lightning defeating the Boston Bruins, and I think this is the matchup that everybody really wants to see. I think the general consensus is that these two are obviously the best teams in the Atlantic by far, I would say. Tampa, from what they did last year at the deadline, bulking up, and the Leafs signing John Tavares. But in this one, I'm going to have to go with the President's Trophy Tampa Bay Lightning. And I had them winning the President's Trophy for a reason in my predictions. And I just think that I look at the defense in this. I look at defense and goaltending, and they both go to Tampa. Offense is, I would have even in terms of skill level and potential. Defense, unless, and again, I say this every video, you don't know what, in terms of injuries or whatever, but this is just on paper, just something fun to do. Defensively, the Lightning are more established. They have veteran guys who are not that old. That's still they move the puck well, they could skate well. Victor Hedman, Ryan McDonough, Anton Strowman, Dan Girardi. He's not, he's older. He doesn't skate that well, but you need the stay-home guys. They have just a better established defense than Toronto does. Toronto fell apart in Game 7 against the Bruins last season. And in goaltending, nothing against Frederick Anderson, but I would take Andrei Vasilevsky over Anderson. I think most people would. So I have this series going 6. It's going to be a close series, but again, just the experience that the Lightning have in winning, and the blue line and the blue crease, the goaltending and defense is why I have the Lightning advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals in my predictions for the 2018-2019 season. Staying over in the Eastern Conference, just switching over to the Metropolitan Division, I have another fun battle, a battle of Pennsylvania. We saw this battle last year in round 1. The Penguins got the better of the Flyers in 6. These two teams don't like each other. That's no mystery that these teams don't like each other. And I'm going to make some bold predictions here. And I'm going to have the Flyers beating Pittsburgh in 7. I normally don't go against Pittsburgh because when you still have Crosby, and I said this in the round 1 video, when you have Crosby, Malkin, Kessel, Letang, Getzel, I really don't like going up against those guys, but I think it's the Flyers' time now. Sean Couturier is going into his own. He adds depth, and they have a lot of young guys that I like. Jordan Wheel, Travis Konechny, those guys are going to help. And defensively, the Ghost, Shane Gostisbehere, Ivan Provorov, leading the charge defensively, and I just maybe could make a bold prediction that maybe Pittsburgh will have an injury to maybe Crosby or somebody like that. But I just like Philadelphia in 7. I think it's their time, and something I think that could get overlooked with Pittsburgh is they played a lot of hockey the last 3 years, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, and last year getting in the second round. Crosby not getting any younger, neither is Malkin. Nobody on the team's getting younger. And I don't think this would happen, but you might start to see a little decline in Sidney Crosby's game, in Evgeny Malkin's game, so on and so forth. And again, I don't really see that happening, but you never know. And I think in terms of younger players and players that could really develop and create and be their own, the Flyers have a lot more. Nolan Patrick, another one that I missed, that he's going to be a fun guy to watch, and he's going to be a future star in this league. So Pittsburgh is out of the second round for the second straight season. So my Eastern Conference Final prediction is the Flyers against the Lightning, rematch of the 2004 Eastern Conference Finals. That'll be the next video. So now we're going to go over into the Western Conference, and we're going to start with the Central Division prediction. So in the Atlantic Division, or the Central Division, we have the Winnipeg Jets against the Blues, who I had upset the Nashville Predators. The Predators I had second seed. The Blues I had third seed, and I had the Blues upsetting Nashville. And crazy as it sounds, I'm gonna have the Blues upsetting Winnipeg. As much as it hurts me to do that, because I love so many players on Winnipeg and I want to see them win a cup, I'm gonna have St. Louis as the underdog, defeating Winnipeg. And I really don't have a reason why, because on paper, if you look at offense, defense, goaltending, and special teams, it's all close. I think it's all closer than you think. But Winnipeg is still better. But I think for San Jose, for St. Louis, getting Ryan O'Reilly, that just adds depth to the center position. That adds leadership. And this Blues team, I think it's easy to get the Blues and Wild mixed up, because they both have had very good regular seasons for 3, 4, 5 years now, but they never make it in the playoffs. And this team came close a couple of years ago in the 2015-16 season, one of my favorite series to watch, against the Sharks in the Western Conference, because I didn't care who won, because I like both of these teams a lot, and I knew that both of these teams never won a cup before. And San Jose beat St. Louis then. They haven't been able to get up to that level again, but I think this year they do. Their blue line, I love Alex Pietrangelo and Colton Parayko. Those, especially Colton Parayko, because he's younger than Pietrangelo. But Pietrangelo's a perfect captain for the team, and I'm gonna be having. This is a sneak preview for my bold predictions, but I think Jake Allen's gonna have a good year. I know he's at times has shown he's a good goaltender, and at other times he looks completely lost. So that is a bold prediction, hence why that will be one of my bold predictions in a video coming up very shortly. But I think Winnipeg, what they did last year was special, and obviously they could very well repeat it. I have them in the regular season. I think they had given them 113 points. This team could beat you in all different ways, but the way I predict things, and when the playoffs actually come out and you do like the bracket challenge, I always like picking teams that nobody picks. I don't like picking just the first 2 seeds of each conference and setting them to the Stanley Cup final, because more times than not in hockey that doesn't happen. You saw last year, President's Trophy, Nashville Predators lost second round. Tampa Bay Lightning lost third round. So it's few and far between that the President's Trophy winning team wins the Stanley Cup or even makes it to the finals. That's one of the things I love about hockey and why I think it's the best sport. And I think this year, although Winnipeg is a very good team, I'm picking the underdog Blues to go to the Western Conference Finals. And now we're going to go and find out who will be facing them in the Western Conference Finals in the next Western Conference second round matchup. And we have a fun battle of California in the second round, as the Kings are going up against the San Jose Sharks. The Sharks I had winning the Pacific Division. Kings I have them coming in second. And now they're meeting in the second round. And last time these two teams faced off was in 2016, I believe. And the Sharks defeated the Kings in 6 games. That was in the first round. But this year, this was really close. And I actually had these two teams playing each other in the second round last year, and I really couldn't decide who was going to win. But I'm going to go with the San Jose Sharks. I have the Sharks in 7, and I didn't even realize I picked the Blues. I have the Blues in 7 as well. So I have both Western Conference second round matchups going into 7 games. Blues beating the Jets and the Sharks beating the Kings. And these two teams, I mentioned this when I was doing the standings predictions, both of these teams are similar in the fact that they have an aging core that knows how to win Well, the Kings have won two Stanley Cups, the Sharks haven't, but they've had playoff success. They've won to the Cup. You know, they don't just go in and lose in the first round. They know how to win, and the time to win for both of these teams are now. I think obviously there's more pressure on San Jose because they haven't won a Cup. Kings have won two. But they have a lot of good players that are aging, but they are still very solid. But the difference to me, why I have the Sharks beating the Kings in 7, is I think the Sharks have better secondary scoring. If you look at the Kings, you look at Anze Kopitar, Drew Doughty, Dustin Brown. You could throw in Jeff Carter, definitely Jonathan Quick. But besides that, especially on the defensive side, you have like Dion Phaneuf. It just, to me, the Sharks have a better secondary scoring depth. They have a better bottom 6. They have a better bottom 2 on defense. And the goalies are, they're even. I would actually even think Quick is a little bit better than Martin Jones. But I have San Jose winning and beating the LA Kings just because of their secondary scoring on all assets of the game, offense, defense, and the penalty kill, PK, all the above. But I would not be surprised if the Kings won. So with that being said, guys, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoy the second round. Third round will be coming up, and that will be the Fly in the Eastern Conference Finals. I have the Flyers against the President's Trophy Tampa Bay Lightning, and in the West, I have the Blues, who are facing the San Jose Sharks. So that video is going to be coming out shortly. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a comment with your predictions and your thoughts about my predictions and how they're dead wrong. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the conference finals video. See ya.